What up, everybody? I'm your host, Mr. Fresh to the Soul, and this is Kicks Convo. Let's go.
We the coach, we nothing like them vultures. If you didn't, now you know it. Our combos be the latest, and our shoes is just the dopest. We keep a high topic when we known to be the coast. Cause we stepping with black excellence, progression, and emotion.
On today's episode, our special guest, my guy Tony, community activist, entrepreneur, servant. We're gonna talk about giving back, faith, and of course, kicks and inspired combo.
We nothing like them vultures. If you didn't, now you know it. Our combos be the latest, and our shoes is just the dopest. We keep a high topic when we known to be the coast. Cause we stepping with black excellence, progression, and emotion.
I'm excited about this one. Let's get right into it. Tone, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. So I'm Tony. I represent Kick Dreams United, and what we do is we serve sneakers to people who need them. And it's really camouflage for love, and God is love.
I appreciate it telling a little bit about the brand. So let's talk about the beginning of the journey, man. How did you get started into the sneaker culture, man?
I just always loved sneakers, bro. Like as a kid, how it started. Actually, Emmitt Smith, for the Cowboys, he came out with these Reeboks called Preseasons. So I was a little kid, bro, and he had the commercial and stuff. I was a 49ers fan, but there's something about them shoes that are like, and I think from that age, I had to be maybe like 8, 9. Since then, I've just always loved sneakers. I went to church the next day. I had them to wear later. And my boy Mike, I was like, he's always been a Cowboys fan. I was like, bro, you see the preseason commercial with Emmitt Smith? And he saw the sneakers, he liked them too. I just remember that moment in church when I was a kid. So I think that shoe, the preseasons, really got me into sneakers, man.
I remember those shoes, man. I think they were kind of like a trainer, right?
Yeah, it's like a trainer shoe. They had the low top,
yeah,
the high tops with the straps.
So classic shoe,
yeah,
shoe.
Man.
Man, do you remember the first shoe that you bought with your own money?
First shoe I bought with my own bread, man, you know what? It's probably some boots. It had to be some Timberlands. The Butters.
The Butters.
I don't think it was a Jordan. I don't think it was a sneaker. It was the Butters. You used to be able to go to the outlets and get them for cheap around Christmas time.
Okay.
You get that, you get something in the mail. Me and my boy, I think you get like 25% off.
Okay.
So the Butters, and, being from Baltimore, it was the Cinnamons at the time. So the Butters and the Cinnamons, I think that's the shoe I got when I first, saved up my little change from cutting the grass and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
Man, I remember back then we used to be in love with the beef and broccolis, also the banana puddings. So that was like one of the shoes you had to have, right?
Absolutely, man, because it went with all your outfits. You had Biggie in the commercials. I mean, in the music videos and everything. All the hip hop cast was wearing them. So it was like you had the sneakers, but if you wanted to dress it up a little bit, you had to have the boots, bro.
Definitely.
That was always fire.
Man, I remember having a pair of mountain gears, man. It was hot back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mountain gears.
Mountain gears,
listen,
yep.
First down.
Was,
okay. Okay. So how was like shoes around the house, like growing up? Like, did you guys have a plentiful, or did your parents always buy you shoes? What was that culture like inside the house?
Man, so my parents always instilled in me, hard work. So my parents would meet me halfway. So I was like, all right, Tone, if you could cut the grass, do odd jobs, and save this amount of money, if you get these grades in school, if you have a particular shoe you like, we'll meet you halfway. So if a Jordan was like 100, if I made 50, they would pay the other 50, and that instilled in me the hard work, man. The importance of working hard, having that work ethic. So yeah, man, that's pretty much how I rolled. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think shoes were kind of like a once a year time. It's like for us, we only got shoes going back to school. It was kind of like, we gonna get one, maybe two.
Yeah.
And then when I had opportunity to have my own money, man, I still had the same mindset. I would only buy shoes during the beginning of the school year. But now, man, it's an opportunity to kind of like, buy your favorites or go back in time and kind of live those memories, man. So is there a shoe that other than the Emmitt Smith that remind you of like a ideal moment in your lifetime?
The Deion Sanders Diamond Turf.
Okay.
With
Sound like
the,
Boost?
with the gold strap.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I can relate to that once a year sneaker. You know, like I said, my parents would meet me halfway, but like I couldn't get like multiple kicks at a time. This particular time, we just didn't have the bread to get it. We were going on a trip to see my family in Michigan.
Okay.
Summertime, and you know, I had to make that. What's it called? Um, what's it called? Penny. What's it called? Penny. Payless.
Okay.
Payless. We made that Payless move, bro. So they they had the Deion Sanders fake joints.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I ain't gonna lie. Still to this day, I wish I could find that shoe.
It was close.
That shoe was better than the real. I love that. I love that sneaker, bro. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks,
Yeah.
but that shoe was fire, bro. I couldn't get the real Joan, but I had the Payless Deion Sanders, man. I'll never forget that shoe.
Yeah, for me, I remember like having like one shoe, and one shoe was like a pair of Reeboks Classic, kind of like the Freaky Reeds, you call it, right? Or
Yes, sir.
it's back when like Cash Money was hot, so we had the long white tees, the
Yeah.
headbands, you know, the Soulja Slims, what we call it, man. We wore those everywhere, but I didn't have the money to buy like a basketball shoe, so I
With
wore
the
that.
do-rag and all? Yeah.
Definitely, listen, I had the cornrows. Y'all won't believe I'm bald now, but y'all laughing there. But I had cornrows. But back then, man, I was hooping in those. I was running. I was playing kickball. It was like the all-purpose shoe, you know.
Classics.
Yeah. Also, I remember like all the young ladies used to have the Reebok Classics.
That's right.
The white ones. Like you wasn't cool if you ain't had those, you know.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. For sure.
So right now, like, what is one of your favorite shoes of all time?
Right now, I'm really into the Kobe's.
Okay.
Kobe's my favorite player, and there was a time where you couldn't get them Kobe's after he passed.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with the Kobe's and them being available right now. The Kobe 4s are really speaking to me right now. Right now, so if you ask me right now, I'm saying Kobe 4s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm a Kobe too. The Kobe 5s, I think the Kobe 8s. I used to desire to have some of the prelude Kobe's. These are like the mixture, the top of the top, and I had an opportunity, you know. Thank goodness for eBay back in the day, you know. I used to, man, be at work and on eBay all day. So, but they be able to kind of have these Kobe's come back and re-release is a blessing, man.
For
So,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. It's an interesting time right now in the sneaker culture, but it's good for people who actually love sneakers outside of trying to make money from them. So for people like us who really love the sneaker aesthetically, and for what it does, is a great time because you can pick up shoes. You know, they're readily available. You know, so them Kobe's, man.
Well, Kobe's a great hooping shoe too as well. So
Absolutely.
even with that, like, what is one of your favorite? I'm gonna give you two options, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite two shoes to hoop in? Because we met through hooping, right?
Did we ever, bro?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gotta get back on the court.
Yeah, listen, we up in age right now, but we
it's all good.
Listen, it's a blessing. But shoes wise, like I know for me, comfortability is everything, even on a court. So like, you have a model that you like, your go-to model when you're hooping.
My favorite shoe of all time, and I just discovered this year, as a 40-year-old man, is the Steph Curry Spawn.
Yeah.
Flows.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They
The
re-retro
Curry
those,
Flow.
Yeah.
Joints is the cushion.
Yeah.
The cushion is crazy with the grip, so you get really good cushion. And for somebody like me, who when you land, you know, you need some cushion. That's key. They're lightweight, they're flexible, and they're forgiving, and that makes a world of difference for an older athlete. So that's my favorite shoe of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do more with that shoe, you know, when I'm on the court. And a lot of shoes don't really give you that, you know, right off the break.
So I agree. I love the Curry ones, right? But the first pair without the big bulky sole.
Okay.
So like I went out and bought a couple versions of those, but like it's my favorite kind of model. It reminds me of a Kobe because it's low cut, right?
Yeah.
But it's simple, it's clean, and it's snug to my foot. So, what do you think about the Sabrinas?
Under Armour, man.
Under Armour?
You know what I'm saying? You know, Baltimore.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. The Sabrinas, I thought they were dope at first. Cause it's got the Kobe
Yeah, the feel.
look kind of like feeling, but like I felt them in hand. I wasn't as I don't know, something. I feel like something's missing personally. They cool. They cool though. You know.
So what shoe do you think is comfortable as well, right off the court?
You mean like a hoop shoe?
Lifestyle shoe, something that you would put on that
Yeah. So the New Balance, those
okay.
what is it, 960s,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Those are
960s.
fire with those today. They're comfortable, and it's not like committing all the way to just being comfortable. You
Yeah.
know, you got some lifestyle. You got some. They look like something. You know, those New Balance. They're doing a really good job. You know, on cloud too, man. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
sleep on these brands. Hoka. You know, the young kids are
Some
starting to
Brooks as
really
well. Yeah.
some Brooks. You know,
A6.
these shoes are really gonna treat your feet right. You know, even better than Nike and some of these. To me, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been leaning heavy on Ons and Hoka for sure.
So I want to shift a little bit, man. I want you guys to dig a little deeper into the brand Kick Dreams, man. So I know a little bit about it, but I want the viewers to understand, like, what is Kick Dreams?
Kick Dreams United, man, is camouflage for love,
Yeah.
right? So first thing you think about is sneakers, you know. But you know, we really want to. So as we're here talking about sneakers, obviously there's a love, there's a passion there. But really, it's camouflage for love, man, and God is love. So we use sneakers as camouflage to show that God is available to everybody. You know, so we take shoes, we recycle them, we give them to people who are in need, you know. And what we found out is in that 10 minutes to an hour or however long you're interacting with that person, you're not thinking about nothing. Because a lot of people, let's face it, are negotiating a lot in this world. So you're not thinking about nothing. It's just about these sneakers. It's about connecting with your neighbor, your brother, your sister. And it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, man. I actually had an opportunity to be a part of some of the events, man. So I know that you guys are stationed in multiple stores, right? And
Yeah.
they're actually collecting sneakers for us. So I know Boost and also Bo spoke about you. What locations are you established at when people need to donate shoes?
Man, we've been able to serve and work together in the capacity to really serve thousands of people. So first of all, I just want to say thank you, bro. Because without you,
Yes, sir.
a lot of people wouldn't have shoes on their feet.
I appreciate it, man.
So you know, Hidden Gems, man, thank you, Berto, for representing for us from the city. And as a result of this store, he's been able to connect us with Nike, with Foot Locker, and all these really nice brands, man. So I'm just very appreciative. I got to say that first off. We're partnered with 20 different stores, bro. 20 different stores in the area. Consignment shops and corporations like Fleet Feet, Charm City Run, Road Runner, but different consignment shops like Offline, um, Footage Society,
Okay.
Soul Inspires, um, Soul Blockers. We just got partnered with them. Soul Block. Um, yeah, man. There
Yes,
may
it's a
be
lot. It's a
some
lot of spots.
there
Yeah.
may be some more as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's been a true blessing, man.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to see you in Baltimore City, man, and it was a blessing, man. Tone was able to give out over like 500 pair of shoes. And the one thing that caught my eye, I know you as a brother, but there's a a person that came late, right,
Hmm.
and didn't have the opportunity to get a pair of shoes. And I watched you go back into your trunk and make sure you found a shoe for that person. So once again,
Mm.
man, you just been a true, genuine person, and it's not just the brand, it's who you are, you know.
Mm.
So
Bless you, bro.
yeah, definitely, man.
You know, so how Kick Dreams got started is I got fired from my job. You know, and you know how we check out YouTube, you
Yeah.
know, different sneaker influencers, and you know, me and my mom are real close, and we were having breakfast, and I like to bounce my ideas off my mom because she has such strong vision. I was like, Mama Hardy, what you think about this? You know, it's this YouTuber who they get flown to Jordan's house to test the shoes in his gym. I was like, that's crazy. What you think? What you thinking? Could you see me doing something? She's like, Tony, that's cool, but you could do something that's original to you. What could you do that's different, that's original to you? And we began to talk more, and she was like, you're a pretty generous person. We both are. I mean, I've been raised around my parents, going to nursing homes and stuff. So I've always been around service. So my mom and I, we went and got some shoes back at the house, and we went downtown. I had a little GoPro. We filmed it, and it felt so good, And I was like, it's like a light bulb went off. So we came up with the name together. I was like, Mom, what you think about like kick show, or She was like, oh, about kick dreams. I was like, woo. And I was like, what about Kick Dreams United? And then, man, we put that together. My brother Othniel was an artist. So we put the ideas together for that. He made the logo, started an Instagram page. And right when we started the page, a company named Shooting Touch reached out to us. We didn't have no more than about like 5 pairs of shoes to give away. And they were like, listen, we love what y'all are doing. Could y'all provide some shoes to Africa? Could y'all get us like 100 pairs? And I don't know what to tell them. I'm like, we only got like 5 pairs. I don't know how we're gonna get 100 to them. Talked to my mom. She said, Tony, just tell them yes. We'll figure out it later. The rest is history, bro. We've given over like 200 and something pairs to them, within that first 2 years. Word of mouth, help from Berto, help from different shops, and it's been a blessing, man. So since then, we've just been able to scale it, and by God's glory, bro, by God's glory, we're just able to serve through these sneakers, man, and our hopes are that they feel love. The sneakers are just like I said, camouflage, so somebody could feel some type of love in that short time we're spending with them.
What advice would you give someone that desire to follow their passion and they're probably a little bit scared?
Man, thank you for asking me that question. I think it's so dope that I'm even being asked that question, because I know what it's like to be somewhere miserable. And to be on this side of it where I can't wait for Mondays, first of all, is a blessing that you could identify that. So what I would tell people who's scared is to lean into the fear, because what I've learned even through therapy is that fear can't stop you. It's okay to do it while you're afraid, because the important thing is you're going to survive it. And usually on the outside of that fear is where real life begins. So just, man, challenge yourself, because there's so much beauty on that other side than just doing what you're continuing to do. So, think of it as like an invitation. That fear is an invitation to the big leagues. Because you may feel like getting them strikeouts. Oh, this ain't working, man. Curveball. I hate this job. What, the boss ain't treating me right. You know what I'm saying? That's right down the middle fastball. I missed that one. But it's going to come a moment where it's going to come right down the middle of the plate. You're going to knock that thing out the park. Boom. Welcome to the big leagues, man. You hitting that thing out the park because it's your passion that God created for you to do and nobody else. So I would just say identify it by what naturally comes to you. What do you naturally enjoy? What do you naturally love, man? And God is going to use that love to help serve other people.
So where did the passion start?
Like, where the passion for sneakers? Like, what really got me into it? I keep referring back to basketball camp.
Okay.
Basketball camp, man. It was one and the same with sports. So I've always loved basketball. It was the smell of the sneaker. It was the sound of the sneaker on the hardwood. It was the leather. It was tying them up. It was different soles, different cushion. And developing into my basketball game, it was really important to feel fly while you were hooping. So, just rather than just throwing on whatever sneaker, you wanted to throw on something that identified with your game, and it made you feel better while you hooped. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Deion Sanders says, you feel good, you play good, they pay good. I jacked it up, but yeah, man. I had to say basketball camp when I was young, man. Seeing all the older kids who were dunking before I can in certain shoes, I was like, oh, I wonder if them shoes can help me, play better or something like
I want to
that.
be like Mike,
Yeah, the commercials
Yeah, yeah.
was hot back then. Charles Barkley, anything else would be uncivilized. All that stuff, man. That's how I grew up on that stuff, bro.
So you recently became a father,
Yeah,
right?
bro. Yeah,
To a baby girl.
my heart.
Do you transfer the love of sneakers to her? Like, what's that like?
Man, I was packing up some shoes, and she already help that pack shoes. Help that. She's only 19 months, bro.
That's crazy.
She's already on it. And so this morning I was packing some shoes up, right? And she hadn't even ate breakfast yet, and she identifies being in my garage with me packing or whatever I'm doing because that's her quality time with me. She gets to play on the couch and chill and stuff, but she knows sneakers and stuff. And another thing is they have these baby shoes with straps that are good for babies' feet. Cause like Jordans, a lot of them shoes aren't really technically good for babies' feet. But Nike found this really good sneaker. So I bought it for her. And my wife got like these little sandals, look like some Jerusalem sandals or something.
Not the Air Moses.
Yeah, man, And I trying to put these nice Nike shoes on. She's no, not those ones. She's crying because she wants the slippers.
Yeah.
So she already can tell she can make choice. She has a choice. She's figuring out her style and stuff. So I love it, man. I love it.
That's dope. It's dope.
Yeah. So she's definitely right in that wheelhouse with the sneakers already, man. So I love it.
I can see y'all both going to the store, picking up the shoes and
yeah, man,
spending time together. That's dope, man. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done that a few times, and she picked out a shoe, so it's just a blessing, man.
I think that's like every sneakerhead father's dream. To go with wifey and buy some shoes and then grab some for the kids as well, and get the family pick. So.
Yeah, it is, and that's the only thing that matters to me is family. You can't pay for that. That time, that quality time, because you know that your family's taken care of. They feel loved, and it's through something that we all love too. You can't ask for more, bro.
Kicks Dreams, when I see it, right, it's a family business. You got your mom, your father, you, your family.
Yeah.
Do you envision passing that on to your daughters?
100%, bro. Yeah, 100%. Daughter for now.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
you never know what God got to say.
Listen.
Funny thing about that is she's giving her first pair of shoes away already. We had an event for Christmas a couple years ago, and there was a baby in the stroller, and we were trying to figure out her pairs of shoes. We identified a pair, and I think my wife had her, and I took her, and then she had this pair of shoes, and she gave the pair of shoes to the little baby. And at that time, I think she was like maybe a little over a year. So I don't know, she already got it in her blood to give, to serve, man. So that's the goal. That's the goal, to pass it on to little Thera and the rest of the family. She's got a little cousin named Charlie. So we were hanging out with them today, and I hope both of them are able to take Kick Dreams to newer heights we've never seen, man.
And that's crazy, man. Building a legacy, man. So.
Man, it's a blessing, and it's really, God gets all the glory, man. I've been in some places where I couldn't even see being right here. All types of anxiety and stuff. People struggle. You don't know nothing about. So if I could be here talking with you, anybody can, man.
So, tell me, how can the viewers find more information about Kick Dreams?
Absolutely. So, for Kick Dreams United, you just want to use that same handle on YouTube, on Instagram, and that's where we're at right now.
So listen, I appreciate you coming through.
Love, brother.
It's a blessing, man, and an honor. And y'all know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
Stay humble, stay fresh, and make sure your souls are clean. We out, y'all.